Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. The Magi here to catch up on a very good budget deck that frankly was a bit of an oversight for me at the beginning of the year. This deck is very accessible even for new players, mostly due to the existence of the jump-in packet tech. It has a lot of synergies with the green-white +1/+1 counters deck that was part of our new player starter experience cards. And if you were around last year, this deck practically builds itself. But before we get into all that, thank you to all my new and prior followers on Twitch, helping us get one step closer to affiliate status. And one of those lucky followers picked up 2 starter decks for their arena collection. My next big project here at the Stronghold is going to be to launch a Discord server featuring all sorts of chat channels about deck brewing, meta formats, helping you find a pairing for your own game, as well as channels to simply be social, find help, streaming, and special content. But to make this happen, I'm going to need the help of at least 10 people to step up and make a pledge of $1 or more per month over on Patreon. And hey, for only $1 a month, it's a lot of value, so make sure you're checking it out. And there's even a lot of content there that isn't released anywhere else, even for people who are not supporting on Patreon. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Alright, so let's take a look at this deck, which is basically just a spin on the Be or the Be My +1 deck that we have talked about from the starter deck experience, as well as a day 1 standard deck. The idea here, though, is earning those +1/+1 counters by playing an Artifacts Matter deck. And the first column here is all cards that are available to you through that previously mentioned tech jump-in packet. Teething Wurmlet is the signature rare, and really this is the cornerstone card of the deck, and what you want to kind of use as your gauge as to whether this is going to be budget friendly for you or not. I would not consider building this deck with any less than 3 copies, and really 4 is where you want to be. Similarly, 3 to 4 copies of Yoadian Dissident is kind of a must, but again, these are your expected cards from the tech. Clay Champion is a 20% upgrade possibility from that jump-in packet tech, as well as you received 1 copy in your new player experience. So really it's not unusual to end up with a couple copies of this within your collection. From there, we've got a couple uncommons worth considering. Well, to be honest, Steel Seeker at this point, I would not spend any wild cards on, even uncommons. In initial testing, it's really not pulling its weight, and I think the 4 copies that I'm showing here in this deck could easily be subbed out from existing cards in your collection from the green-white starter deck. On the other end of the spectrum, Patchwork Automation is almost a must-have. If you were around last year, you probably already have 4 copies of this, and even if you're a brand new player, you might want to consider crafting 4 copies of this, particularly if you don't plan on doing any sort of drafting from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, although there are some good arguments to be made why that may or may not be a good idea for you. From there, I'm running 2 copies of Simian Simulacrum. Very good card. It fits the synergy of this deck remarkably well. And again, if you were around last year, this is a very easy thing to have in your collection. The mana base that I'm showing here, I've got 1 copy of the white Kamigawa and green Kamigawa Legendary Lands. I've got a few of the pain lands and some of the slow and fast lands. Really, this is just the mana base that I happen to have, and probably if you were around last year, this is going to look pretty similar. If you were not around last year, though, don't be afraid to simply play what you have and allow your collection to grow into that. I would not spend any wild cards specifically for this deck, or probably any other rare dual lands for your first year. Now, the last column here are all cards that are very accessible for even new players. Ginger Brute, Glass Casket, Tough Cookie, and Iron Crag, all from Wilds of Eldraine. Ozolith, you're going to recognize you got one copy of that from your new player experience. It's also available to you through jump-in pack selection, and pretty easy to end up with 2 copies on that. Atraxa's Skitterfang is a very high-functioning artifact, uncommon from last year. I do think this is potentially worth spending a couple wild cards on, maybe 3 if you're brand new. That still gives you a little room to maybe accidentally open one as you start getting packs from things like the Mastery Pass, etc., etc. So again, overall, this deck, if you were around last year, is probably a really easy build to within a card or 2 of what I'm showing here. And if you're brand new, it might be something more to think about as your collection grows, as you're making your jump-in selections over the remaining 3 seasons of the year. And, you know, just something to keep in mind as your collection grows, you might pick up some of these cards. It's also, as I said, highly synergistic with the green-white starter deck, so you might be able to splash in a little bit of this concept and see where your collection goes over the course of the year.
And before we go, I want to take just a moment to thank all of my patrons and remind the community when we hit just 10 patrons at any level, we will be rolling out Discord for the entire community, not just paid patrons. So if you have the means or mind to do so, consider supporting our community as it continues to grow. And of course, supporting the community by liking, commenting, subscribing, or sharing our videos is always appreciated. And you will appreciate subbing to the channel so you never miss out on a thing. And of course, we have some suggestions here on the next videos that you're going to want to check out.